watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I wanted to discuss Mark Korven's score for The Witch. Now, the reason that I wanted to discuss this was because this is hands down one of the most terrifying scores I have ever listened to. This is genuinely off-putting. This has sort of like that Exorcist element going for it, where it is genuinely unnerving, and there's these giant cacophony. It's like this massive wall of terror that's created, and it's done so seamlessly, and almost it implies like there's an effortlessness at play where Korven just kind of went in and felt the film really well and figured his way through it, and he created this score that just is just alive with terror. And the other reason that I wanted to discuss this was because I absolutely hate the movie. I thought the movie was boring. It was overwrought. They put more effort into the dialogue than they did the story. I mean, as far as the story was concerned, there was no story. Nothing happens. The goat talks. The chick strips naked. She floats. And then the movie ends. And had it not been for this film's only redeeming value, which was the score, I wouldn't even have remembered this at all, because I remember I was really excited about this because everyone was like, oh, it's sort of like Ellie Kedward. It's like, you know, this could be the Ellie Kedward story from the Blair Witch. And I love the Blair Witch. And so I remember was it playing at Bowmanville? I think, because it had a really limited release. And I remember me and my sister tracked it down. I think it was in Bowmanville. And we were really excited. But Christ, it was really boring, and absolutely nothing happened. The only thing that made this movie scary, the only thing, was the score. And it saved this movie. Now, I know I'm pretty much alone on that. My sister feels the same way. But so we're pretty much alone in that. Everybody loved The Witch. Everybody said it was terrifying. But I think that's really just because the score did such a good job of evoking those emotions through these otherwise really bland and mundane scenes of nothing. You know, you got lost in the audio component and you were like, oh my God, I'm terrified, when there was really no reason to be terrified. If you removed the score element from whatever scene you thought was the most terrifying in this movie, it's boring. Nothing happens. The movie was shit. And I don't know. I didn't like the movie at all. Like I said, nothing happens. By the time the goat talked, too, I was so bored. I felt tired. I kept having to get up and stretch my legs. And that's a really bad sign whenever I go to a movie and I find myself having to get up and move around in the theater. I did that with Insidious. I did that with that Malignant piece of shit, too. James Wan's movies are awful. But yeah, I found that Korven's score was the saving grace of this film. This was the thing that elevated this movie to like the epic level that everybody thinks the movie's on. But I don't believe that the movie had anything to do with it. I mean, I liked how it was shot with a like honest lighting. Like there were no lights employed. It was like by candlelight, so it was really, like I said, it was honest and it was very period based. But that isn't enough to make this scary. This movie was just straight up boring. But the score is so terrifying, and it's so big, and it's so remarkably badass. And it just feels like I said, it was so easy for Korven to do this. Now, I know that's probably not the case. He most likely recorded dozens and dozens of hours of takes for different scenes whenever, the spotting session called for, oh, I want this here and I want that there. And I know he probably worked his ass off, but it just doesn't come off like that. This feels like it was like a very easy thing composition-wise. And I love that about this. It sounds seamless. It sounds effortless. It's scary as hell. And it sort of has this like massive impending sense of dread that just builds into these giant walls of like noisy terror so easily that it's just so believable. And that is, of course, what I believe made this movie so scary, because otherwise the movie was dull. So yeah, so I'm going to go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discuss Mark Korven's score for The Witch. If you like this review, did I say Korven? It's Korven. Jesus Christ, Adam, you got to learn how to pronounce people's names. Yeah, I do. Yep, I said Korven. It's Korven. Jesus fucking Christ, Adam. You know, you really got to learn to look closely at these things. Even though I don't really have to here, because I know his name, because I love the man, because of this score. I called him Korven. It's Mark Korven. So yes, if you liked my review of Mark Korven's The Witch, don't forget to do something nice for somebody, and I will see you guys soon, and hopefully in the next video I pronounce people's names correctly. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.